Okay, so in this lecture, we will discuss how to set up your environment and begin to learn some basic tools you will need in order to participate in this course. So first, let us navigate to the Apple Store and download Xcode. Xcode is free, but you will need a Mac to use the environment. For those that are working on Windows, you can use the free tool provided by IBM, and I have included this link in the lecture. You may use this tool, however, I should caution you that if you want to develop apps for the App Store using this language, you must use a Mac. After you've finished downloading Xcode, please launch it. You will notice that the welcome screen gives several options, including Get Started with a Playground and Create a new Xcode project. The Get Started with a Playground selection does not require you to compile or run your project to test your code. This process will be done on the fly. Throughout this course, you will find yourself using this tool a lot. So with that being said, select Get Started with a Playground. For this demonstration, I will be naming this playground My Playground and selecting macOS as my platform. When the project is finished creating itself, you will notice two sections appear in your workstation. On your left is the Swift code editor, and on the right is the results sidebar. Whenever you make a change to the code editor, the results sidebar will be updated accordingly. First, let's take a look at each line and discuss what each means. The first line is a comment. An inline comment will always begin with two leading forward slashes. This allows text written directly after to be ignored by the compiler, as it is not code we want to execute. Comments are good to indicate what the code is doing. As a side note, you want to only put comments in your code if the code itself does not reveal its true purpose. For example, if the naming of a variable did not reveal its complete purpose, you may want to add an inline comment further telling you what the variable means or what it will be doing later on in your program. To ensure we keep our code clean, be sure that your programming variable names reveal their purpose and are not in need of over-commenting. The next line is an import statement. This allows us to have access to the Cocoa framework, which will give us the ability to use the functionality that is encapsulated by the framework. This is also known as an API, or Application Programming Interface. Think of an API as a tried and true way to interface with a set of existing libraries. Below the import statement is a variable declaration. In Swift, variables are first declared by using the var keyword. The variable name stir will allow us to later reference the value that it holds. You can name this virtually anything you want. The equal sign is called an assignment operator. This will take the value on the right-hand side of the operator and assign it to the variable name stir. As for our value, we have the string hello playground. We can tell it's a string because of the quotation marks surrounding the value. For now, just think of a string as a collection of characters. As I said before, stir is not very revealing as to what its purpose is. So let's change its name to be more meaningful. Since we have a variable named hello playground string, we are able to change its value. Let me append an exclamation point to our string value. Note the plus equals syntax. This is telling me that I am reassigning the variable hello playground string with the value it holds plus an exclamation point character. Notice how the value in the results sidebar changes on the fly. Next, go to View, Debug Area, Show Debug Area. Now let's add a print statement. Print statements will output the value of a variable that is passed as a parameter to the print function. More on functions and parameters later on. Notice at the bottom now I printed to the console. This will help debug some of the errors you will encounter during the runtime of your programs. This will become more obvious when you begin developing real projects. Okay, so let's wrap up. You should be now familiar with how to install Xcode, becoming familiar with a playground, adding and modifying string variables, and some function usage. And with that, let's move on to our next lecture.